The ocean, a vast and seemingly endless expanse of blue, covers more than 70% of our planet's surface. It's a world of breathtaking beauty, vibrant life, profound mystery. But beneath its shimmering surface, there are places where the raw power of nature reigns supreme, where the elements conspire to create unimaginable danger. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey to these locations, places that earned infamous reputations through maritime lore and scientific discovery. We'll explore treacherous waters, confront natural dangers, and delve into mysteries that still baffle us. These are corners where sailors' whispers turn to warnings, where the sea's gentle caress can become a crushing embrace. From the legendary Enigma of the Atlantic to the frozen, storm-tossed polar regions, each location holds its own unique perils. Stay with me until the very end, as we count down to what may be the deadliest, most treacherous patch of water on Earth. The final reveal might just surprise you. Our journey begins in the western North Atlantic in a region that needs little introduction. It's known to most as the Bermuda Triangle. For decades, this loosely defined area between Bermuda, Florida, Puerto Rico has captured the human imagination. Its reputation is built on a long, unsettling history of disappearances. Vessels of all sizes, from small private yachts, colossal cargo ships, have reportedly vanished without a trace. One of the most famous incidents is the USS Cyclops. It vanished with over 300 crew in 1918. No distress call, no wreckage. As if the sea opened and swallowed it whole, leaving only questions and a haunting silence. The story of Flight 19 in 1945 is chilling. 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers vanished during a routine exercise. A rescue plane sent after them also disappeared, taking 13 men. Speculation runs wild. Theories include rogue waves, geomagnetic anomalies that confuse compasses, time warps, extraterrestrial interference. Scientists point to volatile weather, sudden violent storms from the warm Gulf Stream. They point to extreme depths, trenches plunging thousands of meters, hindering recovery. Methane hydrates, frozen gas deposits, lie under the sediment. Some hypothesize a sudden release could erupt, reducing water density catastrophically. A ship caught in such a bubble would lose buoyancy instantly, sinking before any distress call. It would simply be gone. The Bermuda Triangle remains a potent symbol of the ocean's power to conceal its secrets. Many incidents have been explained, yet the legend endures. Even with modern tech and satellites, there are places where fact and folklore blur, where the ocean can still claim us, leaving only a mystery. We now travel south to the very tip of the South American continent, to a place that has been the ultimate test for mariners for centuries: Cape Horn. This rocky headland on Hornos Island in southern Chile marks the northern boundary of the Drake Passage. Its name is spoken with a mixture of reverence and fear. Before the Panama Canal was built, rounding the Horn was a necessary evil for ships traveling between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The challenge here lies in the ferocity of the weather, the roaring 40s. The furious 50s are funneled into the narrow gap between South America and Antarctica. These winds, often reaching hurricane force, whip the sea into a frenzy. The convergence of oceans creates a chaotic, unpredictable sea state. The waves at Cape Horn are the stuff of legend. Known as graybeards, colossal swells over 30 meters or 100 feet. They're steep, often breaking, and can come from multiple directions at once. For wooden sailing ships of old, encountering such a wave was often a death sentence. The sheer force could snap masts, crush hulls. The history of this region is written in wreckage. Over 800 ships, 10,000 lives lost. The sailor's graveyard. Each wreck tells a story. A battle against freezing temperatures, blinding spray wind and water. Ice is another constant threat. Even in summer, icebergs drifting north from Antarctica, thick fog that frequently blankets the area. These silent white giants can appear with little warning, capable of tearing a hole in a hull. Today, modern ships and advanced forecasting make it safer, yet Cape Horn remains one of the most challenging maritime routes. A raw, untamed wilderness of water and rock. Our journey now takes us to the warm turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean, off the Horn of Africa. But the beauty of the Somali coast, well, it really belies a danger that is not born of nature, but of man. For years, these waters gained global notoriety as the epicenter of modern maritime piracy. This is a peril that doesn't involve rogue waves or crushing depths, speedboats, automatic weapons, the desperate calculus of ransom and reward. The roots of this piracy lie in the collapse of the Somali state and the subsequent illegal fishing by foreign trawlers that depleted local fish stocks. Former fishermen, their livelihoods destroyed, turned to a more lucrative trade. Organized into sophisticated syndicates, they began to target the vast numbers of commercial vessels passing through the Gulf of Aden, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, connecting Europe to Asia via the Suez Canal. Their methods were brutally effective. Using small, fast-moving skiffs launched from a larger mothership, container ships, oil tankers, bulk carriers. Armed with AK-47S rocket-propelled grenades, they would swarm a vessel, overwhelm its often unarmed crew, and seize control. The ship and its crew would then be taken to an anchorage off the Somali coast and held for ransom. The human cost of this piracy was immense. Crews were held hostage for months, sometimes years, in appalling conditions. The crisis prompted an unprecedented international naval response, with warships from dozens of nations patrolling the region to deter attacks and protect vulnerable shipping. The waters here are still considered a high-risk area, and vessels transiting through must adhere to strict security protocols, often employing armed guards. The danger along the Somali coast is a potent reminder that the perils of the sea are not always natural. Here, the vastness of the ocean, which can feel so liberating, becomes a liability. From the man-made dangers of the tropics, we return to the raw, elemental fury of the far south. We find ourselves in the body of water between Cape Horn and the South Shetland Islands, the Drake Passage, the shortest crossing from Antarctica, and one of the most treacherous voyages a ship can make. A place where three of the world's great oceans converge: the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Southern. The primary feature, the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. The largest ocean current on Earth, moving a volume of water over 100 times that of all rivers. Unobstructed, it flows eastward, and the Drake Passage acts as a bottleneck. That constriction accelerates the flow, creating turbulence and unpredictability. The weather is relentless. The passage channels storms across the Southern Ocean. Low-pressure systems form fast, bringing winds regularly over 50 knots. Winds can reach hurricane strength, whipping the sea into chaos. Ships caught here endure brutal, violent conditions. The waves are legendary. With thousands of miles of fetch, swells build into massive walls. Waves of 12 meters, 40 feet, are commonplace. These steep, powerful walls can toss even large cruise ships and research vessels. Seafarers call it the Drake Shake. And then there's the cold. Water temperatures hover just above freezing, air often far below. Spray that reaches the deck can freeze instantly, coating everything in ice. Icebergs are a constant menace. Behemoths the size of small islands drift north, hidden in fog and troughs between waves. To cross the Drake Passage is to face the planet's untamed power, a rite of passage for polar explorers and scientists. Even with modern technology, the journey remains humbling, a stark, visceral reminder of nature's dominance, the turbulent gateway to Antarctica. We now travel to the warm, crystalline waters of the Caribbean Sea off the coast of Belize. Here, surrounded by the vibrant coral of the Lighthouse Reef, lies the Great Blue Hole. From the air, it appears as a giant dark blue pupil in a sea of turquoise. It is a giant marine sinkhole, over 300 meters across, and about 124 meters deep. It is a world-famous destination for scuba divers, but its beauty hides dangers that demand the utmost respect. The Blue Hole is essentially a vertical cave, a relic of the last ice age. When sea levels were much lower, it was a dry, limestone cave system. As the glaciers melted and the seas rose, the cave was flooded and its roof collapsed, creating the sinkhole we see today. Descending into its depths is like traveling back in time. The water is remarkably clear at first. Deeper down, the light from the surface begins to fade. The world transforms into a realm of deep blue and shadow. The primary danger for divers here is the depth itself. The sheer walls of the hole plunge vertically, tempting divers to go deeper and deeper. Recreational scuba diving has strict depth limits for a reason. Exceeding them significantly increases the risk of nitrogen narcosis. Nitrogen narcosis is a state of altered consciousness often compared to drunkenness. In this condition, judgment is impaired, and divers can make fatal errors, such as removing their regulator or failing to monitor their air supply. Below about 90 meters or 300 feet, another, more insidious danger lurks. The water in the deeper parts of the hole is anoxic, meaning it has little to no dissolved oxygen. A layer of hydrogen sulfide, toxic to humans, often blankets the very bottom. Here, the water is stagnant and undisturbed, and a strange, eerie graveyard of conchs and other marine creatures that have fallen in and been preserved can be found. The structure of the hull also presents challenges. Between 30 and 40 meters down, massive stalactites and massive stalagmites hang from overhangs, remnants of the cave's dry past. While spectacular, navigating this complex underwater geology requires skill and careful buoyancy control. It is easy for a disoriented or panicked diver to become lost or trapped within the intricate formations of this submerged cavern. The Great Blue Hole is a geological marvel, a window into our planet's past, but it is also a place that tests the limits of human exploration underwater. Our voyage now takes us to the deepest known point on Earth. In the western Pacific Ocean east of the Mariana Islands lies a crescent-shaped scar in the Earth's crust, the Mariana Trench. This is the abyss of all abysses. Its deepest point, the Challenger Deep, plunges to nearly 11,000 meters or almost 7 miles below the surface. If you were to place Mount Everest into the trench, its peak would still be covered by more than a mile of water. The defining characteristic of this environment is the almost unimaginable pressure. At the bottom of the Challenger Deep, the weight of the water column above exerts a pressure of over 1,000 times that at sea level. This is the equivalent of having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of a person. It is a force that would instantly crush most man-made objects, and for a human being, it would mean immediate and complete annihilation. Only a handful of highly specialized submersibles have ever made the journey to the bottom, and each descent is a monumental feat of engineering and courage. The journey down takes hours, a slow descent into absolute blackness. Sunlight cannot penetrate these depths, so the only light is that which is brought from the surface. It is a world of perpetual night, an environment more alien and less explored than the surface of the moon. The temperature here is also extreme, hovering just a few degrees above freezing. This, combined with the crushing pressure total darkness, makes it one of the most inhospitable environments on the planet. For a long time, it was believed that no life could possibly exist under such conditions. But explorations have revealed the opposite. Life, in its most tenacious forms, has found a way to thrive here. Creatures adapted to this brutal world are bizarre and fascinating. We find amphipods, shrimp-like crustaceans that have evolved to withstand the pressure, and the ethereal Mariana snailfish, which has a soft, gelatinous body that allows it to survive where creatures with air-filled spaces could not. These are organisms that have evolved in complete isolation from the sunlit world, part of a unique ecosystem fueled not by photosynthesis by chemosynthesis, drawing energy from chemical reactions. The Mariana Trench represents the ultimate frontier of ocean exploration. We know so little about what truly lies in these depths. It is a location we can never truly visit, only glimpse through the tiny, thick windows of our most advanced technologies. For our final destination, we journey to the ocean that encircles the world's most remote and coldest continent. This is the Southern Ocean, also known as the Antarctic Ocean. It is defined not by land masses but by a current, the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the same we crossed in the Drake Passage. Here in its vast open expanse it creates the roughest, most dangerous seas on Earth. The Southern Ocean is a realm of superlatives. It hosts the strongest average winds on the planet. Unbroken by land, storms circumnavigate the globe and grow in power. These storms are constant, not occasional. Sailors call the region the Screaming 60s, the latitude south of 60 degrees where wind howls with a terrifying ceaseless fury. The waves here are the largest in the world. With almost infinite fetch, swells can reach staggering sizes. Rogue waves, individual walls of water far larger than the rest, are a real, present danger. Research buoys have recorded waves over 24 meters, 80 feet. For any vessel meeting such a wall of water is life-threatening. Then there is the ice, a minefield of frozen hazards. Massive tabular icebergs break away from Antarctic shelves. Some are the size of small countries. They drift among countless smaller bergs and growlers, chunks often hard to spot on radar. In winter, vast swaths freeze into shifting, grinding pack ice that can trap and crush a ship's hull. The cold here is absolute and lethal. Water temperatures stay at or below freezing. A person overboard would have only minutes, maybe seconds, before hypothermia. The extreme cold makes machinery brittle and deck work hazardous. Crew must bundle up, breath fogs in the air. The Southern Ocean combines the worst elements: ferocious winds and waves like Cape Horn, massive polar ice, and a remoteness that leaves help thousands of miles away. It is the last great ocean wilderness, beautiful in desolation, utterly unforgiving. Our voyage has come to an end. We have journeyed from the myth-laden waters of the Bermuda Triangle to the crushing absolute darkness of the Mariana Trench, and finally, to the frozen fury of the Southern Ocean. Each of these locations, in its own way, reveals the immense and untamable power of our planet's seas. They are places of terrifying beauty, where the forces of nature operate on a scale that dwarfs human endeavor. They remind us that for all our technology and knowledge, we are still guests in this vast blue realm, and it is a realm that commands our deepest respect. These formidable spots on the globe are not just geographical locations, they are a testament to the enduring spirit of exploration and the courage of those who venture into them, be it for science, trade, or adventure. They challenge our understanding and push the boundaries of what is possible. I thank you for joining me on this exploration of the world's most perilous ocean spots. The sea holds countless stories, and we have only just skimmed the surface of its most dramatic chapters. Now I would be fascinated to hear from you. Which of these formidable locations did you find the most terrifying, the most awe-inspiring? Was it the man-made threat of piracy, the mysterious disappearances, or the sheer raw power of a storm-tossed polar sea? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this journey as compelling as I did, do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating expeditions into the wonders and dangers of our incredible world.